Hello everyone and welcome to the September installment of your Shoegaze Sundays monthly show. Since I've changed format a little bit, I have decided to do one big show per month. If I find something that I think is just amazing and I have to share it with you immediately, I will still be doing the quick picks. I really didn't have time to do any of those this month. To be perfectly honest, here in the USA with the election and all of the civil unrest and the pandemic, of course, I've been struggling personally a little bit with some things, but luckily I have some great supports and I'm doing everything I can to deal with that and exercising a lot of self-care. I'm listening to a ton of music to help deal with that as well. I just haven't been really motivated to get to work, as they say, and do things, but I do still really appreciate everyone who's supporting me and will absolutely at least have the monthly show for you. So I have 6 tracks this week. I have some great new releases that I've selected, as well as a classic track that I'm pretty sure I've never mentioned and haven't shared before, so that's excellent. So to get us started, the first track I'd like to share with you comes from a wonderful band called Death of Heather. This song is just epic and lush and sweeping and beautiful. To me, it really stands out as having a lot of those hallmark things that I like in a shoegaze and dream pop track. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do. This is Death of Heather with their new release, Hard to Cure. So next, I'm so excited to share with you, finally, the new Ariel track has been released. They're gonna have an EP coming out a little later this year, but this first single they've released, of course, is what we have come to love and expect from the Chicago-based Shoegazers. This is Bloom by Ariel. So for your next selection this month, I was listening to DKFM as I often do, and this song just really stood out to me as being one of those kind of, not necessarily like genre definable. This kind of struck me as having a lot of different influences, and I don't know exactly how I would classify it. However, it was just full of earworms, and I really, really enjoyed the track. This is Bat Eyes with Saving Up. So the next track I have is actually the B-side to this band's newest single. They have an album that should be coming out later this year, but I absolutely loved both of these tracks, though I did choose my favorite. This is Toner with Nobody's Fool.
You ask what's up.
next selection is another one of those kind of strange hybrids. This is definitely a little more dream pop and probably even maybe a little more mainstream alternative. However, it had just some lush and dreamy vocal harmonies. It had just a sunny summer vibe that made me feel good. So I definitely wanted to highlight it and share it here. This is the band Miss Cantaloupe, and the track is called Sunshine Daydream.
Filled with grace, captive space, no one else can take. Close your eyes, don't open them until the sunrise. Don't.
So for your classic track this month, I was inspired by thinking back to the Kalama-Shoegazers of the past. Last year, Kalama-Shoegazer was at the end of August, and all the prior years it was in November, so fall is kind of the time we start thinking about this. And of course, due to COVID-19 and everything going on, Kalama-Shoegazer is not going to happen this year, but I'm sure they'll be back next year with bigger and better things, if it's safe to do so, of course. April has put on such a wonderful show for so many years, and I've seen so many great performances and bands as a result of the Kalama-Shoegazer Festival. So I chose one of the bands that I did see there, Soft Science, for our classic track this month. So this is their track Undone by Soft Science. Enjoy. So that's it for September and Shoegaze Sundays. I am playing around with maybe doing a monthly Spotify playlist. I know I'd kind of done a master playlist that had yet to be completed, to be perfectly honest. It might be easier for me and actually more accessible for everyone else to do those monthly and have less tracks. One of the other things I decided I thought I would do and would be fun is do a in case you missed it at the end of the show. So there are some other great releases that I've caught that were highlighted by Amber on When the Sun Hits. Chrissy did it on Drowned in a Sea of Sound. That band, of course, is Animal Ghosts. They have some great tracks and new material coming out. Citrus Clouds is another band that I've just been catching a lot that you may want to search out and see if you dig them. And a band I featured in the past on Shoegaze Sundays, Silver Liz, has some new material out. So I didn't necessarily want to plug them in and feature them here, especially if we're all listening to the same stuff and kind of looking at the same groups. I didn't want to have too much crossover and blend, but I definitely wanted to mention those. If you have some extra time and want to do some independent study, those would be great tracks to check out. So what do you think? Do you think the monthly Spotify playlist thing would be cool? I know I have mixed feelings about utilizing Spotify, but it is a great way to help support new bands who are out there and getting their music. And also then when you decide you like a track, you can go to Bandcamp and actually purchase a physical copy or buy a t-shirt or, you know, do all of the different ways that we can actually support artists, because it's becoming more and more difficult to do that. So I know it's difficult to utilize like what's convenient for us, but how we can also support artists. So if anybody has any better ideas on how to utilize that, of course, I always state, go to Bandcamp, do it direct, try to do it on Fridays where all of the proceeds go to the artist. Buy a t-shirt, buy some merch. I'm wearing my typical Shoegaze Sunday shirt. I did purchase the Ariel Bloom t-shirt to help support those guys since I've been such a long time fan. Mentioning those t-shirts, I do have another order of the Shoegaze Sundays t-shirts up and running, so if anybody wants to contact me, those of you who have, I will be in touch when I get more information and when I get my new shipment in. thank you for continuing to tune in. It's definitely been quite a year, so many different changes, so many things going on, but I'm glad we're all music lovers and here to support each other. And I hope you all continue to shoegaze on. Let me know what you think in the comments. Reach out on the Facebook page. I love hearing from you. And those of you who have reached out, thank you so much. I do really appreciate that camaraderie. So have a great week, everybody. Take care.